Welcome back, Caddy Corner, episode 18.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Austin. Good job.
Yeah.
You definitely came in thinking about that. That's funny.
No, I came in the door thinking about that. Before I left the house, my dad was like,
"Don't forget your names.
Remember to introduce yourself."
Perfect.
I was like,
"We'll
yes, sir.
Have to keep that consistent because otherwise we will forget."
Yep.
Keeping up with the back to school theme, which is what we'll be doing for the next little bit. We're going to talk about some back to school essentials. Caleb and I both love just like gear, and just like what's in your backpack is very interesting. And
yep.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. I went kind of underrated-ish, so whatever you did is, but I got a pretty good list here, and hopefully you guys learned something. So Caleb,
yep,
let them know.
All right. So how do you want to go about this? You want to do alternate?
Yeah, we'll just ping pong.
Alternate. All right. Sounds good. So first on my list today, I have desk/workspace.
Boom.
I think that's so important. I think you have to. I personally have a desk, which is new to me. I haven't had a desk for very long. But whenever I started college and I started taking some classes online, I was doing homework in my bed, like sitting on my bed with a laptop on my lap. Awful.
That's tough, yeah.
So I was like, I have to have a place where I can go and be productive. And so I got my desk now. So even if you don't have a desk, just a place where you can go and like flip the switch from like everyday life brain to
work.
Now I have to get stuff done brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what has to happen. So my desk is where I go to do that, but your workspace can be wherever you go to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that on my list at number 1 because I think it's one of the most important.
Yeah, I love that because I think that separation is really important. I spend a ton of time at my desk,
Totally.
Obviously. Like, I don't just do schoolwork there. I actually don't do very much of my schoolwork at my desk, except unless it's computer related and stuff, but I sit at my desk a lot for editing purposes. Like, whenever we have the podcast, I'm there whenever I have an editing day for like 6-ish hours, sometimes more, working on the show. And so, obviously, just being able to turn that on and off is super cool. And also, a good thing about the desk, too, is I've never been somebody who can really work well in like a coffee shop type environment.
Me either.
Unless it's more of like a meeting kind of vibe.
Definitely.
But sit down, do your homework at like a Starbucks, there's no way I'm doing it.
Not going to happen.
No. So, yeah, desk is super important.
Yeah.
My number 1 essential, and mine isn't really ranked like that, but it says that mine is a backpack that fits everything that you need to have.
Totally.
I just remember from high school, like seeing all of these people carry around bags that were definitely not big enough to carry what they needed. Or, like, worst of all, you remember those, like, stupid little tiny, like, lunchbox-sized backpacks that the girls would carry around?
Yeah.
What are you doing with that? I know your laptop is not fitting in there.
You can't fit anything in there.
No, you can't. It can't even fit the Prime in there. Like, nothing fits in that.
No.
Nothing fits in that. So, just get a backpack that fits your needs. Don't worry about really what it looks like that much.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get, like, something crazy, but just get something that can fit all of your stuff. And that's really it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah. And then, like, my backpack has different little slots. Like, I really like that.
Yep.
And, like, the zippy pouch where you put your pencils, like, it has different little sleeves where you can put, like, pens or pencils, or, like, I have a SSD and, like, cables in there. And so keep your stuff organized. But definitely get the bag that works for you. And maybe the bag that works for you is, like, a tote bag or, like, a briefcase or something cool,
Yeah.
It's not for me. A briefcase would be pretty dope, but...
I was in Staples the other day. Me and my girlfriend Sydney were in there, and I was looking around and I saw a briefcase. And I was like, I picked it up. I was like, how sick.
If we mod it out for the pod.
How sick would it be if I like pulled up to recording day with my briefcase? Dude.
Oh, that would be crazy cool.
I mean they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
But not for me, not right now anyway.
No, definitely.
So next on my list I have AirPods/earbuds.
Yeah.
I think that whenever you're doing work, I always have to have my AirPods in, especially whenever I'm editing. But even if I'm doing homework or anything, if I have a text that I have to read for class or anything, I put that thing on read to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always have my earbuds in or my headphones on or something, just so I can get away from the other sounds,
distractions,
and focus on that.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important.
People won't talk to you.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That's like the best thing. Because I have it on my list. Mine says headphones, ... You need headphones for everything.
Yeah.
What happens if you have a video in class you have to watch? Then you have to be one of those dudes from high school who has to go out in the hall and like crank the volume on whatever it is and that's not cool.
Hold it up to your ear just so you can hear it.
Yeah. So, gotta have headphones. Like for me, like you said, like just shutting off the world.
Yeah.
And just doing whatever. I'm a podcast guy, so throw a podcast in. I hate awkward silence and weird stuff that. And so Like if it's work time in the classroom and everybody's just going to town, you gotta have headphones in.
Definitely.
Otherwise, it's just weird.
Yeah.
My second is a water bottle or something that can be used to keep you hydrated.
I got water bottle on my list too. Here. Yeah.
I don't know. For me, like whenever I'm thirsty, there's no way I can focus, and so I just always have like my hydro flask is always in my backpack and it's always full with water and ice, whether I drink any of it or not.
Yeah.
But you just have to have it. So
totally
can't focus without that. So yeah, water bottle, easy. But
next on my list, pretty easy giveaway, planner. You gotta have a planner.
It's my next one too.
So mine, I just got this new one for this year, and it's just a little leatherback planner. Got all the months of the year, all the days, everything. Got spaces where you can write notes, things for whatever you got to do, appointments you have, class schedule, whatever, and it just lifesaver, time saver.
Boom.
Sick.
Mine is planner works for mine. But mine is a way to organize info and ideas. So a planner works for that if that's what works for you. Like I use notes in my phone or like my iPad for that. I know some people just carry I also have a book in my room that is like 100-page little like notebook that has like there's no lines or anything. It's just blank pages. So if I have like stupid things that I'm thinking about, just write them down. You just can't store all that information in your brain.
No.
Trying to keep up with, especially with dates and stuff like that, especially in college, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
But I'm a digital guy, so that's what I do for me. But a lot of people obviously like to sit down and write their whole planners out and like create agendas and that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's not really for me, but figure out a way to do it. Like I use Notion for a lot of that, and then I also use like my regular calendar. So yeah.
All right. So next I have a hard drive.
Oh yeah.
So
especially if you're like us.
Yeah, especially if you're like us, but even if you're in college, like you have so many documents that you have to fill out in college and in high school too. And if you want to save those, like a hard drive is necessary. Right now, my hard drive is actually another laptop.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I just put everything from this laptop that I don't need on that laptop, and that's my hard drive. Cool. Just because I don't have a hard drive right now, my old hard drive is full. Yeah. So, yep, that's where I'm at right now. But hard drive, necessary.
Piggybacking off that, if you're like us too, I think you need an SSD. Yeah. So I always pretty much I have a terabyte hard drive to just dump stuff onto. And so for my audio production class last semester, I have all of my projects just backed up onto there. Because we would use the desktops, and so like you can't you can't save the files either. Whenever the computer shuts off, it wipes the whole computer basically. Yeah. So you have to save it to something. So I just always carried my hard drive for that, and then I always carried my SSD too. I always have those. But obviously, like you and I carry a camera to school every day. Right. So it's different. But, next on my list is mints and gum or gum. You got to take care of the breath, man. Facts. I'm a coffee a day kind of guy too, and coffee breath is brutal. And so I pretty much always have the Icebreaker spearmints in my bag.
Those things are killer.
Yeah, they're the best. I'm not a gum guy because you can't swallow it, and it's awkward to get up in the middle of anything and spit your gum out. Yeah. I'm a mint guy, but whatever it is for you, take care of your breath. Jesus.
I'm a big fan of gum. Yeah. I feel like the chewing is like a brain stimulant.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I just don't like how you can't easily get rid of it. That for me is a deal breaker. Teach his own.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I don't do that.
I've never done that.
I've never done that in my whole life.
Yeah. I don't know how desks get so gross like that because I've never even seen a human do that before.
Me either. The people who do that have got to be like mega sneaky.
I bet that it's older generations.
Maybe.
I don't really think, and this sounds stupid because we just came from high school a little bit ago and everybody always asks for gum. It's like the joke kind of. Yeah. That not that many people really chew gum every day. Yeah. So
I don't know. I used to chew gum every day.
Well, it's either you do or you don't ever. Yeah. That's how it is for me. I just don't ever chew gum. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I always have a dish of mints in my bag whenever it's school time. Yeah. Otherwise, they're in my car.
Have to.
Yeah. Because bad breath. No.
Yeah. So next on my list, I have notebook/note-taking app. So just somewhere where you can go and write down your notes for class, or if you're just thinking, brainstorming time. Write down whatever you need to write down. Like I usually like to do that on pencil and paper, or like my notes app on my phone. But like if you have an iPad like that, an iPad pencil, then
just write it out. That's what I do every day.
Those things are like crazy.
The coolest.
Especially the one that you have, which is like the infinite sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I won't sidebar for too long, but I actually switched. I used to use that all the time, the infinite sheet of paper. I don't really use it anymore because I have a new kind of brainstorming thing on my note-taking app, and so I do Cornell Notes. Do you know what that is, with the lines and stuff? And so I will like format that, and I can go on more in depth on this on a different show, but I like put little topics in each of the boxes, and I like fill those out. And so at the end of it, I have a more organized,
right, like a mind map type thing.
Yeah, but instead of the infinite sheet of paper where it's just craziness, it's more organized on one thing. Yeah. So I recently kind of switched to that, and that's been really good for. It's been really good for getting less good ideas, right, than a ton of garbage. Like a ton of ideas with like 3 or 4 good ones. Yeah. So, and I think that's really good. So yeah, that's what I switched to now. But so, like Caleb said, I digitally notes most of the time. But what my next one is creative writing tools. Mm-hmm. So like for me, I am a colorful pens guy and a Sharpie guy. If you look through my math notebook, like everything. Well, the way that I did it in my math class was I like wrote the topics out, or like different kind of ways that you solve a problem. So I don't have any good examples off the top of my head, but like let's say that it's like one kind of overarching topic, and then you have like different kinds of like maybe formulas, right? So each formula would get like a color of a Sharpie, and then so examples of those would be like circled in that same color. So it's color coded, it's easier to find. Yeah. And then I like colorful pen. I'm a pens. I don't use pencils ever. I don't know why, just don't. Pens are cool. I always say to mom, like, I use pens because I don't make mistakes, which is garbage, but it just makes me feel cool. Facts. Yeah. So, but whatever that is for you, I really like, and I also recommend going for like decent quality pens and pencils and Sharpies and stuff. Like, don't get
the cheapest thing.
No, because especially if you're one of those people who like lends pencils out like in class and stuff, then get the cheapest thing. Who cares? Yeah. I'm not one of those people. I have an entire like 30 pack of pencils in my bag. And like I said, I don't use pencils, so I don't mind giving those up. But like my pens are my pens, and they're not touched. Like it's just for me. Yeah. But yeah, get just whatever it is for you that you like to write with. Get it, and then like don't veer away from it. Yeah. So, boom.
So next on my list, I have organizers. So whether that is a desk organizer, or it is a notebook with the dividers, or whatever it is that helps you stay organized, or if it's like the little trays that you put in your drawer or whatever it is, just to help you stay organized, do it. Yeah. Because I can't tell you how much stress you'll save if you can go to a specific place and find something, and you don't have to rummage around through everything trying to find something. Or like your desktop, if you're trying to find a document, like, man, like just have it organized so that you don't have to spend 30 minutes looking for something that you have to find, and then you're stressed because you just lost 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
If your desktop is crazy, that is a major red flag for me. Like the biggest red flag for me. Yeah. I don't understand how you live your life if it's crazy like that. Yeah. Maybe it's just because everything I do is digital, but like I have a folder for everything. Yeah. When I'm done with it, it goes right in the trash. Yep. If I need it for later, it goes on a drive. Yep. It's that simple. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand how people cannot like do that. Yeah. But major red flag for me. Yeah. You have a messy desktop. But to me, that's worse than like that's worse than a messy room. It's worse than anything. For me, that's the worst thing that you could be unorganized at. Yeah. Is a desktop. Because no way you know what you save files as. You know what I'm saying? Like
you do not remember the name.
And then especially like for videos, like the clips that we do for the podcast, the ones that go on Instagram and stuff. Yeah. I save those in a folder, and they're numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that way I know like when to post it, like what order to post them in. Right. But like I don't know which one is which. So if I'm looking for a specific video. But anyway, I won't talk too long about desktop organization because I can go forever for that. But, my last essential that I have is microfiber cloths for like cleaning your screen and stuff. As an iPad guy, it's definitely like the number one essential, because it's like I'm poking and squeezing and drawing on it with my pen all day, and it gets kind of like not great looking. Yeah. So I clean my screen all the time. But obviously, I mean, like you have like your phone, you have anything that has a screen, which is everything. Yeah. Watch even, like I don't like dirty screens. It's another red flag. So I always have at least one. I have one of them in my backpack always, and I usually have one in my go bag for recording too. I always have one in there. So screen cleaning plus.
So you're all done with your list? I got a couple more things. Yeah. So I'm just gonna bang them out.
Bang them out.
So real quick, I was looking online today for my essentials list. I was like, I gotta find some more.
Yeah.
And I found this website called thebookpond.com.
Ooh,
you ever heard of that?
No.
So it's a place where you can buy and sell used textbooks.
Sick.
So, I mean, go on there if you need a textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's on there. But if you're done with your textbooks and you're like, what in the world are you gonna do with this? Sell it on mybookpond.com.
I really need to do that. I have my old textbooks from first semester last year in there.
Yeah. So that was crazy. I have Quizlet.
Oh my God, facts.
Dude, Quizlet, bro.
Yeah.
Some people might think that Quizlet is cheating. Personally, I think that Quizlet is using my resources to my advantage.
Facts.
And that's all I'm going to say.
My advice for Quizlet, I do want to talk about Quizlet, is make sure that it is actually the right information for your class.
True.
Like, if you, and if you're going to use Quizlet, just make sure that it is actually the right information. Make sure that, like, have a little bit of a background knowledge about what your teacher actually told you.
Yeah.
And then use Quizlet so that way you can at least know if it's the right information or not.
Indeed.
Because that will happen. So.
Indeed. So next, I have a positive/growth mindset. You got to go into class with the mindset that you're going to take something away. Because if you go to school and you're like, oh, this is dumb, I'm not going to learn anything, what is my teacher talking about? You're not going to take anything away. But even if you hate a class, you can still take something away, even if it's just life advice or anything that you can, like, get some knowledge from. You have to have a mindset to be able to grasp that and take it. So definitely. I have that. Next, I have an internship. I think an internship is huge. I think an internship helps you realize that you really want to go into what you want to go into, or it can help you realize that you really don't want to go into what you thought you wanted to go into.
Definitely.
So an example I have of this is in high school, I took all of the health science classes, and then I took nursing fundamentals my senior year, which put me on track to graduate high school with a CNA. And I had it planned out that I was going to go and I was going to work as a CNA for a little bit while I was in school, nursing school, and then I was going to go to school to be a nurse practitioner. I took nursing fundamentals and did a internship, I guess you can say, in that class. Realized that healthcare was not for me.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
boom.
Like this one thing that I worked so hard for all of high school, and then get to senior year and I actually get my toes wet in the water of what this field actually looks like, and I was like,
this sucks.
Nope.
Yeah.
So then, like, down the drain. But you need to do something like that early in your school career so that you can figure out if this is something that you really want to do or this is something that you don't want to do. So, like, another example of this is, like, me and Austin did an internship with the studio, which is, like, this stuff in high school. And, like, we loved it, you know. So that helped us realize that this is what we wanted to do.
Facts.
So, like, internships are great. And then I also have a mentor. So somebody that is in the career that you want to go to that you can talk to and get advice from and ask questions and figure out what that field is really like, and that can help you figure out if this is something that you really want to go into or not. So
a tip I have for that too is a lot of your college professors have experience in the field that they're teaching in.
Yeah.
My audio production teacher, he ran mics for whatever, like, TV channel broadcasted University of Alabama sports. Whenever he's from Tuscaloosa, and so like, that's pretty cool. So he has, like, real in-field experience, and so, like, if you're into that kind of thing, like, you know, if you have, like, a nursing teacher in college, there's a pretty good chance that they've at least been a nurse at some point, or obviously they've taught a lot of nurses, so they have people that they can connect you with. So just talk to your professors, because a lot of the time they, like, could be your mentor, you know? And maybe that's, like, I go to a small college, so maybe it's, like, easier to really kind of realize those kind of things, but you know, boom.
Yeah.
Pretty simple though. I've got some, like, stupid questions because I want to, like, make this podcast a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, fun. So I'm just going to hit you with, like, either ors for back to school essentials.
Okay.
So pens or pencils? And then you can elaborate, obviously.
Pencils.
Really?
Yeah.
Go off.
Dude, I like lead pencils.
Yeah, I do too. Clicking them's cool.
Yeah, clicking them's cool. And you can also do the thing where you, and then make it look like you're getting a shot. I always thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Whenever I figured that out, I figured that out on my own. Like, nobody showed me how to do that. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I can make it look like I'm getting a shot. So for the longest time, I thought that I invented that.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I started doing that,
everybody started
doing it. And I was like, look what I did.
Yeah.
And then, no, I mean, everybody just knows how to do that. It's kind of just like,
who cares?
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I like pencils. I like, especially the ones that have the click on the side and the erasers that you can replace.
Yeah. Those are cool because those are like kind of sustainable.
Those are so cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I like colors. I think that's why.
Yeah.
My notes are all in colors.
I like erasing things.
Oh, I don't.
I like erasing things if I mess up.
I'm gonna like, this isn't like an ego thing. I really don't make that many mistakes. If I do, I just scratch them out and then like right above it.
Yeah.
But because in my psych class, like I had to take real notes. We talked about that. But like if you go through my psych book, it's really not that many mistakes. I'm sure that there are misspellings that I don't notice, but I know what I'm talking about.
That's all that matters.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why like I write all of them in crazy colors because it's like it's not for somebody else. For me, I feel bad if anybody like misses class and texts me and it's like, hey, you have the notes? Like, yes, I do. But they are in like 7 different colors. And one of them is yellow, so you will not see it in the photo. You will not see it in the photo.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is the skinnier highlighters or the big fat tip highlighters.
Man, it just depends on
what you're using,
on what I'm trying to do.
Use case. Yeah.
I mean, like if I'm in a notebook or like a textbook, they're like highlight the important parts, or flashback to English class, they're like read this passage and find
something important,
all of the things that you have to find in the reading passages because that's what you do. Big highlighter every time. But if I'm drawing a picture,
yes,
maybe the skinny ones.
Definitely the skinny ones. Do you go colors for highlighters or no? Just like the yellow neon kind of vibe?
No, I like the neon vibe. I
like the orange is my favorite.
Oh, but they're like all neon colors.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Oh, that's what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean like the yellow, like the traditional highlighter color.
That's almost my least favorite one.
Yeah, it's me too. The blue one is sick.
I like the blue one and I like the red one.
Yeah, the red one is sick too. There's like a purple one. Awesome.
Yeah.
Highlighters are cool.
Yeah, they are.
Highlighters
cool.
are very interesting things.
Highlighter, sponsor us.
Yeah. Highlighter, as if it's a brand.
Who makes highlighter?
I think Sharpie makes highlighters.
No way.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
Hold on.
Yeah, look that up real quick.
Oh, my bad.
I'll sidebar on Sharpie for a second. So I went to Target the other day, and I was not really looking for, but I was like, I really want it to get a finer tip, kind of pen tip size of like a white pen so that you can write on things that are black, like the tape that's on, just on whatever. And so I was going to get one of those, but they only sold them in 5-packs. But it was like a clicky pen, like a ballpoint pen that wrote in white. It's like, that's crazy cool. But they only sold them in like packs of 5. And I was like, who would need 5 Sharpie style, like paint marker pens? So
it turns out there's a ton of companies who make highlighters.
Yeah, of course.
So there's this company called, I looked up the best brand of highlighters. And the first one that comes up is 2 Hands Quick Dry 2-line highlighter, 6-count.
Who makes it, though?
2 Hands. Sponsor us. I don't know who comes up with who has the best highlighter, but whoever it is, I trust them.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess if you're that dedicated to make a blog post about highlighters, then you probably know some things.
And you know your stuff. You probably used a bunch of highlighters.
You definitely used a bunch of highlighters. Do you go digital most often in class, or like physical? Analog is what I would say. But
note taking, I'm on pencil and notebook usually. Whenever it comes to like schoolwork, obviously online.
Yeah.
But it also depends if we're doing research in class. I'm obviously using Google.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not using a textbook.
Heck,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta be crazy.
So,
what do you use whenever you write an essay? What are you using for that? Like,
Word.
You use Word?
Yeah.
I use Docs. I use Google Docs every time.
Yeah.
I don't really know why. Word is the better piece of software.
Yeah.
But I just use Docs.
Well, the reason I use Word is because at RCCC, all of your papers have to be submitted as a Word document.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if I write it anywhere else, I would have to go
and change it to a Word document anyway. Yeah.
And that's like 2 extra steps whenever I could just write it in Word.
We just have to submit. I think we submitted ours as PDFs because everybody has different laptops. Like our English professor made it very clear that if you submit it as a Pages document, that she was going to go like ballistic.
Yeah.
Apparently that is not allowed, even though she had a Mac.
Yeah, no.
So she could have opened it.
Yeah.
But
A lot of the professors at RCCC don't have Macs.
No, a lot of professors. Well, because at least where I go to school, it is they give the staff like Microsoft computers, or they give them PCs anyway. So,
yeah.
But you can obviously like buy your own computer, bring your own computer.
Right.
But I just didn't understand why she got so like upset whenever people would submit it as Pages documents.
Maybe she just didn't understand. Maybe she just heard.
She was younger. She was younger.
She wasn't old. It is a sin to open a Pages document.
She was like a published research author. So maybe, but it's just Pages. I actually haven't used Pages since I was in like middle school.
Yeah, no, I haven't used Pages in a long, long time.
Ever since I was introduced to Docs, I've always used Docs ever since.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just like Docs. Word's cool. Though. Word is better.
Yeah.
But I always use Docs. Whenever you make like a slideshow, I use Google Slides.
I use
Keynote.
PowerPoint.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate PowerPoint.
Well, they tell us in school to use Microsoft, but we get all of those softwares for free.
We do too, though.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of just like I might as well use it while I have it.
I just don't like. I really don't like the PowerPoint templates. I think that they all look like they would have been shown in a 2010 business meeting. All of like the presets.
I mean, yeah, totally.
And I just don't like that.
But I mean, I don't really make a lot of presentations like that.
Neither do I.
So
when I have, they've been made with Teams, and so you have to use slides for that. And
so you use Teams or you use Pages?
No, I use Teams.
Keynote.
I use Slides.
Google
Slides.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I make them with like groups, like it's a group activity.
Gotcha.
That's what I meant by Teams.
Okay.
And so, I mean, you have to use Slides for that.
Yeah.
I guess you can share on other things too, but like, at least I think you can. I don't even really know, but
I don't know either.
Definitely don't use Keynote.
No, Keynote's the worst.
Haven't used Keynote in a really long time.
Yeah.
I haven't actually used Keynote since we did Keynote layovers in the studio.
That's probably the last time.
Yeah, that was years ago. I was 17 or 16 maybe. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, the last one that I have is Zoom or in-person classes.
In person every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like being able to ask questions and be heard and
not over email.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken some online classes, but all the online classes that I've taken have been like super easy.
Yeah, me too.
Classes, so I mean, you don't email the professor with questions because
no, you just say I missed the deadline. I'm sorry, or like I'm not going to be in the lecture today.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like in person much better. I just learn better that way. I think
I do too because I want to make a project with everything.
Yeah.
My summer class I liked though because it was pre-recorded Zoom lectures and it was like probably 10 of them in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And you could just I liked it because however she recorded them, you could crank up the speed. So I would watch them at like 2 times speed and do an hour lecture in a half hour.
Yeah.
And that just made me feel really productive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I liked that a lot. But I think that's it.
Yeah, that's all I have.
All right, cool. So thanks for listening to this episode of Caddy Corner. Back to school series still going strong.
Yep.
I go back to school in like 2 weeks.
I go back to school on the 15th.
I go on the 17th.
Yeah.
So it's coming soon. So make sure to subscribe and all that stuff for more back to school content because Caleb and I are pumping it out over the next. I don't even know. We have a really good episode coming next week, probably next week.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to stay tuned for that. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah, very good.
2 guests, very long, a lot of information.
Yep.
Super fun, super cool. So no pressure because one of those halves is not recorded yet. So super cool, super dope.
It's coming. Yeah, don't worry. It'll be out next week.
That's going to be great. But I think that's it for this episode of Caddy Corner. Make sure to follow us everywhere. If you're on audio, rate and review the show.
Yep.
It really helps every time. Also, we definitely read those reviews. All 2 of them right now. But leave a review because it's cool. We really like the reviews. And honestly, though, too, the audio platforms, they've been popping.
Yeah.
The video, less so. I think it was a change of thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll take an adjusting period. Hopefully, you guys like the new logo.
Yeah, new logo. This is the first episode with the new logo. Hopefully, you guys are vibing with it because we are.
Yeah. Hopefully, you saw the intro and outro animations for the video podcast. Those are super dope too. So make sure to check those out. But watch the whole podcast. If you only watch the intro and outro animation, it's going to tank the retention, and then the video's going to do bad. So don't do that.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, don't do that. But if you're on the audio platform, shout out to you guys because you guys have been there.
Facts. You guys have been there.
Yeah, so shout out to you guys. And if you're on video, you're only watching on one platform, YouTube. So subscribe, like, comment, share, all that other stuff that you do on YouTube. Pretty sure that's it.
Yeah.
There is a link to a Google form on the link tree. Fill that out for the Q&A that we do eventually. It will either be episode 20 like we've been saying, or we maybe even will do it later to not interrupt the back to school series. Whenever we decided to do the back to school series, we did not think of that, and we have not talked about that behind the scenes yet, so we will take care of that.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of this information.
Yeah, well, we didn't even think of that.
Yeah, no, I haven't even thought about that until you just said that.
So we will figure out what's going to go on there, but we will let you know at the end of next episode, even though we aren't recording it at the same time. Anyway, we won't talk too long about that. Thanks for listening. I'm Austin. He's Caleb, and we will see you next Friday.
Peace.